No one tells you this. No one tells you that the life you are living right now is a direct reflection of the decisions you made when no one was watching. No one tells you that your future is not something that happens to you. It is something you build, one choice at a time. And no one tells you that the greatest enemy of your success is not outside of you. It is within you, because it is easy to blame the world. It is easy to say, I didn't have the right opportunities. It is easy to say, my situation is different. It is easy to say, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow has become the graveyard of dreams, dreams that were delayed, dreams that were ignored, dreams that were never acted upon. And the reason most people stay stuck is not because they cannot move. It is because they refuse to move. Movement requires decision, and decision requires responsibility. And responsibility is something most people try to avoid. Because the moment you take responsibility for your life, you can no longer make excuses. You can no longer blame your past. You can no longer depend on others to change your situation. Now it is on you, and that is uncomfortable. But it is also powerful, because the moment you realize that your life is your responsibility is the moment you regain control over your future. Most people are waiting for motivation, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for someone to believe in them. But here is the truth. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel inspired, some days you don't. If you only act when you feel motivated, you will never be consistent. And without consistency, success is impossible. You need discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline is showing up when it is hard. Discipline is staying committed when it is boring. And discipline is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. Another thing no one tells you is that your comfort zone is your biggest prison. It feels safe. It feels familiar. But it is also the place where your dreams slowly die. Nothing grows in comfort. Growth requires discomfort. It requires you to step into uncertainty. It requires you to face fear. It requires you to do things that stretch you beyond your current limits. But most people choose comfort. They choose what is easy. They choose what is familiar, and as a result, they remain the same year after year, same habits, same mindsets, same results. And one day, they look back and realize that nothing changed. Not because they couldn't change, but because they didn't. Another truth no one tells you is that time is not on your side. You think you have time. You think you can delay your goals. You think you can start later, but later is not guaranteed. Time is moving every single day. Every hour you waste, you cannot get it back. Every day you delay, you are pushing your future further away. And the scary part is, you don't feel it immediately. You don't notice the loss of time in the moment, but one day you will. One day you will look back and realize how much time you wasted, and regret will hit harder than failure ever could, because failure means you tried. Regret means you didn't. Another thing no one tells you is that your mindset is shaping your life more than your circumstances. Two people can be in the same situation and end up in completely different places. Why? Because of how they think. Your thoughts create your beliefs. Your beliefs shape your actions, and your actions determine your results. If you believe you can't succeed, you won't even try. If you believe you are limited, you will act limited. But if you believe you can grow, you will take action, and that action will create change. So if you want to change your life, you must change your thinking. You must stop feeding your mind negativity. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop focusing on what you lack. Start focusing on what you can do. Start focusing on growth. Start focusing on possibility, because what you focus on expands. Another truth is that fear is not your enemy. Fear is your signal. Fear shows up when you are about to grow. Fear appears when you are stepping outside your comfort zone. Fear is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. But most people misunderstand fear. They think fear means stop, but fear actually means grow. Every time you face your fear, you become stronger. Every time you avoid it, you become weaker. So the choice is yours. Will you let fear control you, or will you use it to grow? Another truth no one tells you is that success is not about talent. It is about consistency. There are people who are more talented than you who will fail. And there are people who are less talented than you who will succeed. Why? Because they are consistent. They show up every day. They do the work. They stay committed. Even when it is hard, even when it is boring, even when they don't feel like it, consistency beats talent every time. And that is good news because consistency is a choice. You don't need to be the smartest. You don't need to be the most talented. You just need to be the most committed. Another thing no one tells you is that you don't need to have everything figured out to start. Most people wait until they feel ready, but readiness is a myth. You will never feel 100% ready. You will always have doubts. You will always have fears, but you must start anyway because clarity comes through action, not before it. You figure things out as you go. You learn as you move. You grow as you experience. But if you never start, you will never know. And finally, no one tells you that your life can change faster than you think if you are willing to change. Not slowly, not someday, but starting now. Because change begins with a decision to think differently, a decision to act differently, a decision to become different. And that decision can happen in a moment, right now.